Hello everyone, I'm Erika of beadingschool.com and I really hope that you can hear me and see me as we have some technical challenges today and I'm not so sure. Please say hi to me. Please let me know in a comment if you can hear me, if you can see me. We are today technically challenged. Okay. It seems to be all right, I think. Okay, now I have to check Facebook for comments too. Okay, so thank you so much, ladies, for joining me today. It's coffee time with Erika, my usual weekly BD broadcast, and today you can watch it from the Beading School Facebook page. Because of the technical problems, it's not available today in the club, but after the live video, we will upload it also to YouTube so you can watch the recording. I see Lutka, Cindy, Sharon, Jennifer, Donna, Malka, Cindy. Welcome, ladies. So today, besides having some yummy coffee together, we have a guest. And Chloe Menage of Pink Hot Jewelry will join me just in a few moments. And she will tell us all about the Beadworkers Guild. I think it's super interesting when I hear the word guild, then, historic guilds come to my mind, which were preserving the knowledge, ensuring that the traditions pass on from master to student. And it is, I think, awesome that there is actually a Beadworkers Guild and we can all join it and benefit from it and work on preserving the art of beadwork together. I will also share with you who are the winners, the two winners of the Starry Night mini challenge. One of the winners we have already chosen with my creative colleague Susie, and the other winner will be chosen from this little ball together. So let's invite Chloe. Hi, Chloe. Thank you so much for joining me today.
Hi, thanks for having me. It's very exciting.
I don't hear you.
Can you hear me now?
Just a moment.
It says it's unmuted.
Can we try it again?
Can you
say
hear me
something?
Now?
I don't hear you.
Oh
no! Okay, everyone else can hear you, but not me. That's a bit funny. Elena, Corinne, Kata, Kara, everyone says that they can hear you, but I can't hear you. Okay, so I ask for a little patience until I figure this out. Please entertain our readers until I can figure it out.
I'll fill some time. I'm not going to sing. But yeah, thank you for having me on. I'm here to tell you all about the Beadworkers Guild today. And Erika just recently mentioned them. And the Guild has existed since 1999. And then we first started at the Great British Bead Show in England. And since then, we've now got members all over the world. From the UK, America, Europe, all over the place, really. And it really is about bringing beadworkers together. I'm going to have to fill Erika in on this when she comes back. Hopefully she'll get that sorted soon. So I know many of you listening are probably already members.
Sorry, I need some technical assistance, and I had to interrupt some important IT meeting. I still can't hear you, Chloe. I see you smiling. It's funny. I hope that no important banking software will crash in the meanwhile when Adam comes to help us. He will be here in a minute.
Do you want me to? Oh, she's.
So the problem is everyone can hear both of us.
Okay.
I don't hear Chloe.
Oh my god. That's strange.
It has never happened before.
It's all my fault.
Where is the sound?
I don't know, you are the IT guy.
Yeah, like it's... Do we have other sound?
Can watch the...
Yeah. Okay. Can we try to restart this? Lee, can you say something now?
Can you hear me now?
Yes!
Yes. All right.
Okay, you can go back to your very important meeting. Thank you so much.
If in doubt, turn it off and on again, Erika.
Yeah, I it seems that I haven't watched enough IT Crowd.
Just gonna say, have you heard of it? Well, I just waffled for a bit about the guild, so I'll have to repeat it so you get to hear it too.
So, okay. In the meanwhile, Susie was already super kind to share the link to your face-to-face interview video that is at the Beading School blog. So that's wonderful. And yeah, Chloe makes awesome jewelry and at pinkheart.co.uk. And I guess that you already told that. I just didn't hear it.
No, I just went on. I was just kind of introducing to the guild. Actually, I just kind of freestyled for a bit.
Okay. Okay, so you can see Chloe's beautiful creations at her website pinkheart.co.uk, and you might know her also from her popular workshops, which I hear from Cheryl, for example, that they are super fun. She's a regular, I think, at your beading group.
Yep, I know Cheryl.
And recently you also joined the Beadworkers Guild.
Yes, yeah, I've been volunteering for a while, but now I'm kind of a solid member of the journal team for my sins. And yeah, it's good fun.
Oh, I can imagine. So, what does, like, I think a lot of our beaders already know the guild, but what does actually, if we have someone out there who hasn't heard of it yet, what does the guild do and what is the guild's mission?
So, well, you kind of summed it up at the beginning, really. It's ultimately about bringing bead workers from all around the world together and uniting them with our passion for beading and bead weaving. And really, that's as simple as it is. It's just about bringing people together, encouraging that knowledge sharing, and keeping that spark alive, really, for future generations.
So actually it is like the guilds in the past to connect people and to preserve the knowledge and to ensure that the tradition continues.
Exactly, that's exactly what it is. And I think it's just obviously evolved now. We've got things like this, we've got social media and the digital way of connecting. So there's less sort of secret meetings and kind of stamps and things, but it's still the same ethos of just keeping that alive, really, which is so important.
Yeah, I think like everything what we can do to support beading and support the knowledge to be transferred between beaders, it's wonderful. And every beader from all around the world can become a member. And in my opinion, one of the most valuable perks that members receive, besides like being able to connect to beaders from maybe from their own area or maybe from far away, it's the journal. Can you tell us about it, please?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you pay a membership fee every year, and that gives you access to the website where you've got kind of lots of free resources. There's loads of different tools, techniques, blogs, and things like that. You also get discount at certain shops. You get access to members-only events. But ultimately, what you really get is the journal. This is I've got the most recent issue just here.
Oh, already in like springtime.
Yeah, around spring. This issue is all themed around literacy and books, as kind of an inspiration base. But really, for the price of what you're paying for a magazine subscription, you're getting 4 issues of that a year. It's a quarterly magazine. It goes out to all members, and we have the print issue, but we also recently introduced a digital edition, which has been hugely popular, particularly with our international members, because they don't have to wait for the delay of obviously getting to them or pay extra in costs for postage. So it's been amazingly popular. And yeah, like I said, it's 4 times a year. It's a whole magazine. It's packed full of patterns, articles, interviews with designers, interviews with shops, interesting features that sometimes are around the subject, which is really nice for kind of gaining that inspiration. So while it is ultimately bead weaving, often there's embroidery, there's information about art exhibitions and different things that really us as beaders can find inspiration from and be interested in. So it's a whole treasure trove. And also you've got things like shopping pages, so you can see the latest new products from your favorite shops. And there's a whole host of advertisers in there. So it's a great way to find new stores and new kind of supplies and things. So it really is everything you need as a beader, and it gets delivered to your doorstep 4 times a year.
And it always has a topic, right? Did you have a project, by the way, in the literature themed journal?
I did in this one. I've had these lockets in my head for ages of kind of themed around some of my favourite childhood books. And when Rowena, the editor, said they were looking for literary themed projects, I was like, oh my goodness, it's the perfect time. So that's my little lockets on the front cover. You can see there it's a Wizard of Oz inspired, and then it's got a little cabochon inside that's taken from the text of the Wizard of Oz. But there's heaps of different ones in there. There's a Black Beauty themed project. There's that's a bookmark, which is also very useful. And there's a few other ones with quotes from kind of popular books. So yeah, like loads of different ways that people can kind of find that inspiration and bring it into their beadwork. So they do often theme them. They're not always themed. Sometimes it's more of a loose theme, but we've had some really good ones in the past. We had a whole year of Alice in Wonderland themed projects, which was really good fun, really whimsical, kind of quirky ones from people like Katie Dean. Yeah, so there's always different kind of themes. There's just a lot of inspiration in there.
And do you have regular contributors, designers, or it's always someone else who's featured or who contributes with the pattern?
I think the great thing about the journal compared to many of the other magazines or magazines of the past is that anyone can contribute. So we have designers who you may not have necessarily, like the big mainstream ones that you think of, you may not have heard of them. And that's because the Guild really support you in creating that project. Rowena will help you with drawing the diagrams. They always kind of redraw them so they're in a house style anyway, and they'll help you with creating that project. So if you're new to designing, it's a really nice way to get yourself in print without having to be an expert at writing patterns and creating diagrams. So we have a real wide-ranging selection of designers. We have some of the big household names, as it were. And I know you yourself have got something in the pipeline, which is very exciting. I don't know if I'm allowed to say that. And we've had ones from Heather Kingsley-Heath recently, and lots of different big designers and small designers, and just people who are beaders, regular beaders who have got great designs. So it's a real variety.
And I think it's, as you said, a really good start when someone is contemplating on starting to publish. And I love how you are rewriting and like redrawing the tutorials, because if someone gets used to that style, then it's really easy to follow the patterns, even if they are more complicated.
Yeah, exactly. And they're consistent throughout. So you know if you can do one, you're going to find it easier to do others in the journal as well. Yeah, exactly that.
And you mentioned Heather. There was actually also a little interview with her recently in, I think, the penultimate issue.
Yeah, we tend to, so over the past, 20 odd years that we've had the journal, we've interviewed a lot of the big designers, and then what we've started doing is doing a little spotlight now. So it's kind of a catch-up column to kind of find out what people have done recently and just kind of check in with them. But Heather's always been a long time supporter of the Guild. In fact, she was the editor quite a few years back for a long while, maybe 10 or 15 years ago.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, she was the editor for quite a few years. I think she may have been either the first editor or one of the first editors of the journal.
Well, we had her recently also on Coffee Time.
Oh, she's a lovely lady, very talented designer, and she's always been a very big supporter of the Guild, which is great.
And she's super kind.
I know.
Absolutely. And do you have a favorite part of the journal? A favorite column?
I personally love reading about other designers, and I think Beth, who is our deputy editor, has a lovely way of writing that she really she always does really thorough interviews. They're often over the phone, sometimes they're email, but she really pulls out those interesting details that I think us as beaders want to know. So I think for me it's the designer spotlight, but I do enjoy the exhibitions one as well, because often they're in person, but there's also virtual ones that they always try and include, to mean that if you can't visit, you're not in London, you're in Amsterdam, you can still visit some of these virtual exhibitions, which is really nice.
Yeah, I loved that. For example, a little while ago, you wrote about the Fabergé eggs, and then there was even a project included in the journal, which was inspired by the Fabergé eggs. So these connections are really great, and to learn about art.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of thought that goes into it, and I think, like you say, it's the wider things that we may not be artists, in all of us in the same way, but it still can inspire our work in different ways.
Absolutely.
So I think it's really good for encouraging that.
And besides the journal, there is also the International Beading Week that the Guild organizes. Can you tell us about it?
Of course, yeah. So the International Beading Week was actually founded by the Guild, and I might be wrong, but I think it's in something like its 5th or 6th year now. It started as just National Beading Week and very quickly grew. And now we celebrate it the last weekend of July every year, all around the world. And it really is ultimately about bringing bead workers together. And there's activities, there's beading sessions. Back before lockdown, we had lots of bead groups would host special meetings, and we'd have picnics and all different things happening. And that's really evolved in the last 2 years with all the lockdowns. So now there's a lot more virtual get-togethers. There's a lot more competitions and bead-alongs running online. But it really is about just sharing our love of beading, but coming together as a community. And there's so much you can do around that. And I kind of ended up on the committee for that. So I've been helping organise that, which has been a lot of fun. And just kind of seeing how much bigger and better we can make it every year.
I really loved last year that you had the idea of interviewing ambassadors, and the Beading Week has ambassadors every year, permanent ones, and also new designers who join in promoting the International Beading Week. And I really loved how you interviewed the ambassadors, and then you made little sessions about different topics. So it was not like one designer talking, but different designers talking about the same
the same thing, yeah. We kind of decided last year to give it a bit of a theme to the year, to kind of make it a bit fresh for everyone, but also to kind of help give us topics and starting points to kind of get the conversation going through the week. So we came up with the idea of these prompts, and I think we're going to carry those forward this year with some different prompts, maybe a few like slightly less of them. And yeah, we interviewed you and Lindsay from Thread Bead. And it was a really good experience to just kind of get to chat to you guys and to hear what you had to say. And we're always very grateful for all of our designers that support the guild and help keep that all going. So yeah, that's one of the plans for next year. And also through the week we have lots of free patterns that are actually available throughout the year on the International Beading Week website. But we really encourage people to yeah, is that your one?
Yeah, that's from last year.
Was last year's one, yeah, and they're great. They're free. They, these designers have been very generous in giving those to us and to our members. But they're open to everybody. You don't have to be a Beadworkers Guild member to access those. And we encourage people to make those on the groups and the sessions that are running throughout the week. But they're available all year round as well. So that's been a really fun thing that's come out of it.
And as for a designer, it was so nice to see so many variations of the jewel that I designed for the Beading Week. I think this was, this design is called Alicia's Flower, and I think this was the one which I have seen in the most variations ever. And that was really a very happy week for me.
Yeah, it was really satisfying. I think we were completely blown away by the response this year, and I know a lot of people have made Nancy Jenner's little fairies.
Oh yeah, that's amazing!
Oh my goodness, they've gone viral, and every week in the Beadworkers Guild Facebook group, there's a new variation that someone's done of these little fairies. They just completely captured the imagination, and I think they've become like the totem of International Beading Week.
Yeah, I have friends who have beaded like half a dozen of those little fairies.
They really are fabulous. So yeah, that was really good fun. But alongside the free projects, we also have the International Beading Week year-long project, and that's something that tends to happen in the Facebook group. But the idea is each month you take one of the colours from the guild, the International Beading Week logo, and you bead something in it that you can then pull together at the end of the year into a complete piece. And there's some really lovely projects. If you do have a look in the Facebook page, you'll see some of the different things that people made from last year, and you can absolutely join in for this year as well. So that's quite a fun thing to do kind of across the year.
Yeah, I loved seeing the results last year. And I will check now the comments because of this technical glitch that I am having with the connection between my program and between Facebook. I can see only, okay, I am going now to Facebook to check the comments if someone has a question, and I can see only the last 4 comments because of Facebook's limitation. So if anyone asked a question, then could you please type it in one more time, because I don't see more than the last 4 comments. And now it's time that we would like to answer your questions if you have any questions about the Beadworkers Guild. Hilly has a question. Chloe, can you tell if the shops being promoted in the journal are mainly UK shops?
No, absolutely. We've got a variety. I think historically we've had a lot of UK, but that was because of the fact that we were mainly printed. Now we've got the International Journal, and with the digital journal, we've got suppliers from all over the world really now. Yeah, definitely opening that up.
And by the way, how can one join the guild?
So I think you're going to pop a link up for me on that, aren't you? So you can just go to our website and click become a member, and it just goes through the shop function. You've got the option between a printed and a digital journal, and there's a couple of different rates on there depending on where you're based. But yeah, it's as easy as that. If you subscribe, then you'll get the next depending when you subscribe in the year, you'll get the journals that have just come out up till this year. It always goes from January. So if you were to subscribe now, you'd get the January's issue, and then you'd get up till the next 3 for the rest of the year. It's as easy as that.
In the meanwhile, I found the link, I posted it. It's easy, actually. It's beadworkersguild.com. And we got 2 more questions. What is the membership fee from Iris?
So it does vary. I think the best thing to do is to just pop on and have a look, because it will depend on where you're based and which option you go for. But it's around about, for the UK, it's around about £31, I think, for the year. And obviously that includes the journal and that's for the print magazine. It includes the journal and obviously all the different benefits that you get from the back end of the website with the members area. But don't quote me on that, because it will depend on where you are and which option you choose from.
Thank you. And Christina had a question that what is the bracelet on the screen?
So that was actually. That was, I think it's called Secret Keeper, and was in the issue before last of the journal. So I think that was the October issue of the journal. And that was one of her projects. So she regularly has projects, and she also has given some for the International Beading Week as well as free projects.
It's beautiful. It's
really nice. Isn't it?
Yeah. Kirsten says that now she's a member.
Yay!
Thank you so much for joining, Kirsten. You will love it. I really like the journal and everything. The Beading Week is great fun. So, do we have any more questions or something, Chloe, that came to your mind that you would like to share about the guild?
So the only thing I wanted to mention was just, I think I mentioned before that we had previously used to have a lot of in-person events. So we used to run workshops throughout the year. We're now offering a lot more of the virtual workshops and drop-in beading sessions. So every month we have a couple of drop-in meet and mingle beading sessions on Zoom. And most of those are free to join, but you need to register by the Thursday before. So do have a look on the website and on our Facebook page as well, because you'll see details of all of those. And that's a really nice way to meet other beaders all around the world as well. So, and they're just really informal, and they're led by Sylvia and some of the other ladies from the guild team.
Sylvia was also once our guest on Coffee Time, so if someone would love to know her better, then you can look it up, the interview with her on our YouTube channel.
Yeah.
Sunshine and Alicia are asking if they can buy past issues of the journal.
So I believe we do have some past issues available on the website. I'm not 100% sure. I'd have to double check that. I know often at bead shows we have a lot of back issues for sale. I think you can get some. I would have to double check that though, and I can come back to you on that.
Mm-hmm. As I have read the information when maybe submitting something to the journal, then if I recall it well, then it does not get reprinted once it's sold out. So it's great to catch it as soon as possible if something catches your attention.
Yeah, that's absolutely right. It's yeah, we have a limited number of runs, and like you say, once they're gone, they're gone. So if you do, I mean, now we do have the option of the digital, but yeah, absolutely. If you see something in the current issue, I recommend signing up now so you get that issue.
Okay. Then Christina, we answered that. The bracelet, and if we don't have any more questions about the guild, then I would just want to say that thank you, Chloe, for joining us today and telling us all about the Beadworkers Guild. And I can only encourage everyone to join the guild. On one hand, you really get a lot of value, the journal, the membership, the International Beading Week. And also the guild works hard on advancing and preserving this beautiful craft that we love so much. So let's support them. Let's share the news about them. Tell your beading friends about the guild. Tell them to join.
We're absolutely. I mean, we're mostly run by volunteers, so it's it's people really doing it for the passion and the love of it. So yeah, please do support us, and we can help keep this great hobby alive for future generations.
Okay, so thank you so much, Chloe, for today.
Thank you so much for having me.
We will be in touch. I hope that you can maybe join us again for an interview about your own art. Maybe for No One Has to Read Alone. We would love having you again.
I would love that. Thank you so much, and thank you for having us today. Take care.
Thank you, Chloe. Have a nice rest of the day. Bye-bye.
Bye.
So I think it was super fun, and Chloe is a lovely designer and she has great projects. So besides checking out the guild's page, also make sure to check out Chloe's own page and Chloe's art. She has super fun classes and get-togethers. And now I would like to share with you who are the winners of our Starry Night mini challenge. In November and December, we were creating together jewelry inspired by Van Gogh's famous painting, The Starry Night. And recently, I ordered 2 books for you about Vincent. It was, by the way, really fun creating together for now also for India, but also for Starry Night. It was I think a really nice time period about around Christmas. And recently I ordered 2 books for you, so you can get to know Vincent better. So one of the books is the complete paintings of Van Gogh, and this will be the prize for the Beader who was selected as the winner by our creative team. That means Susie and me. And then I have one more book, and it's The Letters of Vincent van Gogh, also with some explanations and information about his life. And this is the prize for another reader whose name I will select from this mug. And I want to say that all of the jewels that we have received for the Starry Night mini challenge, they are beautiful. And oh my God, it was so inspiring to look at them, and you can admire all of them on the Beading School Facebook page, and also I shared them to the club. And you did amazing. You beaded amazing pieces. Each one of them were great, and it was a super hard decision to choose one. But well, we had to. And I would like to congratulate Elena and her pendant that she beaded with a hexagonal L2 Studio cabochon that came in the Starry Night box. And Elena created an amazing beaded star with 5 duos and bugle beads and fire polished beads. And this is a very technically advanced design, and it's just beautiful and well balanced. And when I look at it, then it's Starry Night. So Elena, thank you so much for your beautiful creation. I will send you the Van Gogh book with all his paintings. And let's see that who is the winner of the Letters of Vincent. He wrote lots of letters during his life to his brother, to other members of his family. And he was a very caring person, full of emotions. So they are really nice to read. And let's see who is the winner. And the winner is Marianne Epping. Congratulations, Marianne. And by the way, everyone who participated, who sent a jewel for the mini challenge, everyone will receive a little gift card from us, from Beading School. So we will be in touch later during this week. And Elena is here with us. I just see her comment. She says, I'm so very touched. So thankful for choosing my work. I believe that everyone who submitted deserves... Okay, now the comment disappeared and I don't see the rest of it. But I'm super happy that you are here, Elena. Congrats, and also congrats to Marianne. And after the Starry Night theme, now in January and February, we are creating jewels inspired by India. We are creating jewels for the Maharaja. And we are exploring already for some time that what kind of jewels can we make. And actually, this is not the first time when we are creating jewels inspired by India. So I have just posted a link for you, an article written by Yvette from 2 years ago, to explore 9 ways to give your jewels an Indian vibe. How can you give your jewels an Indian vibe? You can use curvy lines, you can use paisley motifs. You can include tassels in your beadwork, and you can include special metal components. When you look at Indian jewels and adornments from India, then metal components are present everywhere. And as you can see, there can even be tassels made of metal in combination with crystals and gemstones. What's really typical that not only one color of metal is used, but silver can be mixed with gold, with bronze. There is no limit. You don't have to limit yourself to one color. And also, really typically, okay, I can't find my picture. There are so many pictures that I've prepared for you for today, but also the use of filigree components is present in Indian jewels. And even if you look at buildings, then many of the details of the building resemble filigrees. And today, my colleagues were working really hard, and I know that lots of you were asking that if it is possible to get the little metal components that we included in your Maharaja box in different colors or more of them. So as the result of the hard work of my colleagues today, about 120 new components will be soon available. My colleague Andrea is activating them in the bead shop today. And there will be findings for earrings, for example, like the mandala flower, and some more in this style. There will be filigrees. You can see here a pair of earrings beaded by Zuzi, and also a set beaded by Gina. And both of the ladies used the same shape here, but in different ways. And I think it's super fun how Susie decorated the top of the filigree and Gina decorated the bottom of the filigrees. So even if the ladies had the same material available to them and the same colors, then they created something completely different. The filigrees, by the way, these beautiful golden toned ones, they come from a family manufacturer in the Czech Republic. And we are working together with them already for several years. And I know that many of you know these filigrees already, this type, but not these shapes. And they are completely different than the ones that are usually available. When you look at them, then you just feel that there is history, there is real art, there is real tradition, there are real traditions behind them. And recently, when we visited in person this little family manufacturer, then we persuaded them to revive some of the shapes that were not available for a long time. The machines that are used for making these filigrees, some of the shapes, they are 100 years old, and some of them were not in use for a very long time. But there are now again these beautiful shapes available. And as you can see, then my colleagues even pegged a little fuchsia box for you. So if you would like to create some more jewels for the Maharaja, then until the next week, you can enjoy a discount of 14% for the Maharaja metal findings. And besides that, you can also choose a fuchsia box that contains what you can see on the screen, all the new shapes. The new shapes, they come in different colors. So it can be that one is gold in one box, the other one is all silver in the other box. So that is, there are always the same shapes, but a variety of colors. And my favorite, actually, is this one. I really wanted to show you this one. That here I attached a filigree to the bottom of a Jai motif, and I glued a little metal charm with cubic zirconia on top of it. I removed the loop with pliers, and then I glued it on with a super strong glue. So this is one that I have used. You can even use these metal findings at the bottom of beaded beads, like here with the Jodhpur. And I really want to share how Susie used some of the old and new filigrees. I love how she created here the negative space below the bezeled cabochon. And then I am so jealous, actually, because I don't have all of these new shapes yet, but Susie lives closer to the treasury than I do. So she already had the chance to create this pair of earrings with the filigree. So actually here she connected a glass dropping metal setting to a little motif that she designed. And as you can spot, she used the square stitch bezel for the cabochon, not peyote, so it's different than our usuals. And then we have this awesome bead embroidered piece. And this week I will actually be on a little semi-holiday, so there won't be a no one has to be the one on Friday. However, Susie is preparing a blog post for you where she will tell you how to bead this pendant. She worked with the Crescent Moon filigree, the big version of it. She included cup chain and the gemstone. And the cup chain and the gemstone, they both came in the Jewel of the Maharaja box. And I love how perfectly it fits. It fits into the shape. Oh my god, and this one, this is my favorite from her. And here Susie used the slim navette, and she doesn't have filigrees here, but one of the ear studs that is with this beautiful ornament in the shape of a leaf. And okay. So those were the new jewels from Susie and from Gina. And I would like to invite you all for the Jewel of the Maharaja storytelling night. And it is an event for our fuchsia and turquoise Beading School Academy students. And fellow bead weaver and professional storyteller 𝐁𝐄𝐃𝐃 will tell you will entertain you with some Indian fairy tales on Saturday. Instead of our usual lunch break room, we will have this storytelling night, and fuchsia and turquoise level students will get access to the Zoom link to listen to 𝐁𝐄𝐃's fairy tales. So let me know if you have any questions about the storytelling night, about the jewels, everything. Cynthia says she loves Gina's jewels. Jeannie says all are gorgeous. Indeed. And if there are no more questions, then I would like to thank you for your attention today. Check out the Guild's website. You might have seen it, that the doll behind me, it usually has a big necklace on it, but it's empty because I was taking pictures about a statement necklace that I beaded recently, and it might appear in the Guild sometimes in the future, but I can't tell you more. I had to remove it so you don't see it today yet. So thank you for your attention today. On Friday, you can bead Susie's bead embroidery necklace, and see you next week during coffee time. Have a nice rest of the day, everyone, and take care.